Well, hello everyone, Trucker Todd here. Welcome to the Tuesday show, Tuesday Trucker Talk. This episode's titled You Asked For It. We got a pretty big announcement tonight. We're going to jump into that. Let me get the ticker up here. And let's say hi to the channel members first. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and say hi to the channel members first. And then we'll get to the announcement. And then we'll get to your comments and all that good stuff. Also, let's talk about this week as well. So I was in, last time y'all saw me, I believe I was in North Dakota or headed that way. Got up there, did my Friday morning delivery, and by the time they got me unloaded, it was too late to get another load. I was going to have about 3 hours of deadhead anywhere I went, and the places being Friday stopped unloading. And so I thought I had a good one lined up for Monday. It fell through. I ended up on a fairly okay paying load going to Florida, and I'm currently in Beloit, Wisconsin, heading that way. So that's kind of how the week's gone, just running my tail off. As far as, man, North Dakota was nasty. The weather was cold, it was foggy, it kept raining. Channel members that got to see the video I did showing my truck, I showed the sky and the parking lot and everything. So if you're a channel member and you hadn't seen that video, go check it out. If you're not a channel member, it'll be available to everybody else on Thursday morning, and you can check it out at that time. Speaking of channel members, let's say hi to all of them real quick. Let's start with the very first channel member. Started when we started about 3 months ago, and there's a lot of them now, so bear with me as I read through all these names. We've got Ramon, Robbie Ross, Corey Oatley, Midlife, Trucker, Red Raider Reloading, Randy's Road Life, KC, Trucker named Tim, Smaller Holler, Oaser DM, Roger Berry, Brian Walton, Mark Ely, 18-Wheeler, Jordan B, Tracy H, H-Man, Davenport Family, Josh Burton, Asphalt Jungle, Shane Lee, Grafton. That sounded like one name, Shane Lee. Grafton, they're two different people. Daniel N, PT Bullet Boy Gaming, Scorpion Trucker, Trucker's Education, Ohioan Trucker, Armando Perez, Skyhook Trucker, No Fear, Ryan Peterson, Delphi Money, Racing Ray, and Lance Calhoun. So I appreciate all y'all being here. For those of you that might be interested in becoming a member, you get a special icon by your name. You'll notice some of the people commenting, they got a star by their name. It changes design and color the longer you're a channel member. You're supposed to have emojis and stuff. I hadn't figured out how to do that yet, but anyway, and you get a shout out at the start of the video. There is, you get exclusive content, things like that. But what about the channel member that wants more? And that's where the big announcement comes today. We've got a new tier available for, well, for anybody that wants to partake, and that is now you can, there's another tier there. You can sign up and follow me on the Life 360 app. It'll show you where I'm at in the country, and you'll be able to track my progress. Now, this is going to be cool for a lot of reasons, and obviously there will be times when I'll turn the location off. For example, when I'm at home, if I stop out on the road to see family that lives across the country, or things like that. But for the most part, it'll be on, and you can track my journey. Now, the other thing that might be cool about that is you'll be able to see other like-minded truck drivers that watch this show and that support this channel. And who knows, it might lead to you making some new friends out on the road. It might lead to you running into me in a truck stop, or us to be able to run together going down the highway or something like that. So I'm really excited about that. I get dozens of calls a week. Where you at? Where you headed? And this, I mean, you can check it anytime. Also, a lot of people will say, well, I wonder if Todd's awake or asleep right now. I'd like to call him, but I never know when he's awake, when he's asleep. This, you'd be able to see me either parked or going down the road, and you'd know what I'm doing. And so let's see. Now that we've got that out of the way, and it is more expensive because it's going to be a lot more work for me managing it and keeping up with it. The first tier membership is $5 a month or $4.99 to track me on Life 360. You get all the benefits of that first tier along with the ability to track me on Life 360, and it's going to run $19.99. And so I don't know how many people will be interested in that. It may be something that goes away in a month or two if we don't have a lot of interest in it. But we'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's get in here and say hi to some people. And incidentally, if you do sign up for that tier, just email me at todd@truckertodd.net. Tell me you did. I'll send you a link, and you'll be able to join that private group and see where I'm at and where I'm going and all that good stuff. All right, first in the chat today was channel member Robbie Ross. What? I'm first. Hiya, friend from Waddy, Kentucky. Hello, sir. After this show, I'll be heading that way, and I plan to stop somewhere in southern Kentucky. We'll see how far I get. Silos says, "What's up from Manhattan, New York City?" Wow. I hadn't been there in a long time. And Silos says, "Who does Todd recommend for trucker taxes?" Honestly, right now, nobody. This year, I'm either going to, or this year, for 2023, I'm either going to buy QuickBooks and do it myself, or I'm going to let I don't want to say that. I got to be careful here. I'm going to get myself in trouble. An accountant I formerly used before the one that I had the falling out with this year, I might let them do it in a worst case scenario. Not because they're good, not because I like them, but just simplicity. They know what I do, things like that. Right now, my wife just informed me 2 more of my 1099s came in. And so we're getting close to a point to where I can get all that information together and make a decision which way I want to go. Corey Oatley, channel member, says, "Greetings once again from Carnesville, Georgia. Been there many, many times." Russell Freight Services, "On my way to North Dakota. I just left there." That's another way this Life 360 thing will be cool for those that sign up for it, if anybody does, is me and Russell would be able to theoretically track where each other was at and might cross paths along the way. I might buy him a hamburger or something. But anyway, be careful. The roads were fine. The weather was fine. It's just foggy at times and kind of wet and muddy and dirty, but other than that, everything's fine. No snow or nothing like that to worry about. Gary Cook says, "I'm listening tonight from Binghamton, New York." Man, we got a lot of people in New York State tonight. Canadian Trucker, "Hello, Todd. Do you use fuel additive all year, or what do you think about it?" This is the question that's going to get me in trouble. No matter what I say, I'm going to get in trouble, so I'm going to tell you my honest opinion. I'm sure tomorrow I'll get at least 5 or 6 emails, people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, I've got it all wrong, but this is just my personal opinion. Typically, I do not use a fuel additive, and the reason is all of these diesels have additives already in them. Now, I do have some stuff in my side box that you're supposed to add to the diesel, and it's supposed to help keep the after treatment clean. I am going to use that. I have not used it yet, and what you do is just pour a few ounces in at every fill up. And so I probably will use that stuff at some point. But now there's exceptions to every rule. I'm going to assume that you're in Canada. Up there, I'd probably run some stuff in my diesel to keep my tanks from freezing, things like that, especially if I was going to be parked. But diesel doesn't freeze until 17 degrees. And if it gets much below that, you're probably idling while you're in the truck anyway. So normally, I don't even think that stuff's necessary except in extreme conditions. Now, another thing to point out is most of these truck stops put a winter additive in the diesel to keep it from freezing. So, in my opinion, the short answer to your question is I don't use a lot of that stuff just because there's already additives in the fuel. Now, if I start noticing that my fuel economy is dropping, that the idle seems a little rough or something like that, I might run something through one tank, and I mean a full tank of fuel. But as a general rule, week in, week out, I don't run any type of additives. And like I said, that's a fiercely debated thing in the trucking community. There's going to be a lot of people say, oh, I'm an idiot, I'm destroying my truck by not running stuff. But all of these diesels have additives already in them. Blues Trucker US. Good evening, Trucker Todd and chat. Good evening, sir. Thank you for being here. Did you hear that California, and this is also from Blues Trucker, says, did you hear California is passing a new, since they have been getting hit with all these storms, they are requiring wind speed limiters. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. My name is Nobody. Good evening, Trucker Todd and chat. Good evening, Nobody. Thank you for being here. P.U. Patel. Good evening, the one and only Trucker Todd. Yeah, the world couldn't handle two of me. Red Raider Reloading channel member. Hello to all the asphalt cowboys and cowgirls. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. And Joe Bananas is here tonight. Glad to have you, sir. Tanker Yankin John, is the announcement that you're being sued because that wreck you was in? No, we already did the announcement. I've now got it to where you can sign up for Life 360 and track my progress across the country. As I said, and I guess, I got to keep in mind, some people are dim-witted, they don't pay attention, and Tanker Yankin John might be one of those people. Well, let me spell it out for you, Tanker. While I can't talk specifically about it, the fact that I have not been sued and I have not even received a ticket should tell you a lot about that incident. The fact that it doesn't fit your narrative or what you would like it to be is irrelevant. Red Raider Reloading channel member. Seriously, Tanker Yanker? Yeah, there's one in every crowd. It's okay. I feel sorry for these poor dim-witted people. They want it to be something it's not. When I left Swift and I bought a truck, everybody saw the truck. They wanted it to be that I got fired for racial comments. So they went around saying, oh, Trucker Todd said all these racial things that was never said. There's not a racist bone in my body. And the more they investigated that, heck, if you watch the intro on my recorded videos, it's got all my grandkids and step-grandkids there. It's a multiracial group. There's no way I could be a racist, but that didn't stop them from doing that narrative. Then they said, oh, well, that accident, which, by the way, was back in April, Trucker Todd must have been distracted. He was texting and driving. He was talking on his phone. He had to Can anybody hear me now? Testing. Let's see if it says I got audio. All right, it must be Technical Tuesday. Okay, good. We have sound. Let's go back and try to get some of the comments. We're on a backup headset now. I don't know what happened to the other one, if it went dead or what. I'm going to skip all the no sound comments because I think we got it back now. Channel member No Fear. Hey, everyone. Channel member No Fear. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Even though we don't have sound and this video pretty much crashed, I appreciate those of you that hung around. Samuel says, am I the only one that can hear him? I think you were the only one that could hear me for a minute. And Robbie Ross, channel member, says, yes, you read lips, Samuel. No, I had I don't know if it was my laptop or my headset, but I lost audio for a minute. And my first headset, my primary headset, wasn't connecting. And so I had to get my backup headset. I have backup everything's on here. That's why the truck is so crowded. If anything goes down, I've got a replacement. And like I said, I'm skipping the no sound comments now that we got sound back. Channel member Midlife. Okay, it wasn't just me. I left and rebooted due to a lack of sound. Chris says, fix your CB. There ain't nothing wrong with my CB. Michael says, I'm here. Glad to see you again, sir. It's been a while. All righty. And we're caught up now. Most of the comments were about me not having sound. I hate when that happens. But anyway, usually it's an internet problem. We don't have internet issues tonight, but we definitely got headset problems or laptop problems. This laptop, well, both of my laptops, to be honest, the modem in it was real bad about just kicking you off for no reason. And I had another modem put in my other laptop, and then my wife said the other day it quit working. But this one, sometimes it'll do the same thing, but the modem wouldn't have nothing to do with the Bluetooth. It's like it froze or something. And I thought I was going to have to reboot my laptop, but I finally got my backup headset working. Now, the thing I don't know is how much battery's on this backup headset. Let me see if I can get my, oh, it's at 93%. So we're good on headset batteries for this one. So let's see, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? We'll jump right into it. Ah, okay, I see. I'm educating myself on YouTube stuff while I'm waiting for you guys. Let's see here. It looks like it's going to be a short show if y'all don't have nothing. I already spilled the beans on everything I got. You can always tell they're a troll when they come in here too, because right after they make their one stupid comment, they're out. They don't hang around and have back and forth. They just disappear. Gary Cook, did you hear about Carl Weathers and Toby Keith passing away? Yeah, I think I was talking about them while my headset went out. I really liked Carl Weathers too. It's been a rough week for. Chris says, can you turn off slow mode so we can respond normally? It takes 2 minutes to comment loud and clear. I hear you 10-4. You're 10-4. Yeah, the problem is, the reason we put that on there is some of the moderators felt like that certain people were dominating the conversation. Let me do this. Why don't I shorten it from 180 seconds? Well, shoot. I'll shorten it a little bit so that you guys can respond. Well, let's do over 60 seconds. We're just trying to give everybody a chance to respond, and the problem we're having is sometimes it takes me a while to get to the comments because somebody will put 10 or 12 comments in a row, and by the time I read and respond to all those other people, it's taken a long time to get to. Okay, channel member Robbie Ross, all your reactions on comments were missed. Midlife channel member, don't worry, I don't dominate anything anymore. I don't want any hurt feelings. It wasn't just you, midlife. There was a couple of people that fit into that category, and I don't have an opinion on it either way. I'll take the comments any way we can get them, and but yeah, there was a few complaints, so I was trying to make everybody happy. It's real hard to do. Let's try this though. Why don't I take slow mode completely off? We'll see how it goes. Oops, I just turned off live chat. Okay, slow mode's completely off. So y'all can hit me with your comments. I guess what I probably need to do, since the sound went out, is just go back and respond to some of those. I can't text. I'm driving. Sorry. It's okay, man. I'm just glad you're listening in the background. Let's circle back up here and get some of your comments. Let's see if I can try to figure out where it went south with the sound. Hopefully I won't be repeating some of the comments that I've already responded to. Okay, let's start here. Yeah, it wasn't signal, it was Bluetooth, Gary. Let's start here, and apologize in advance if you've already heard me say this. We were talking about the addition of Life 360 as a tier level on the membership deal. For those that are interested in it, you can hit the join button at the bottom of your screen. Get more information on that. If you do sign up for that, shoot me an email at todd@truckertodd.net so that I can get you the link to join us on there. And then Red Raider Reloading channel member said, be tracking like Santa Claus. Yeah, it's I'm kind of chubby and jolly, and the only thing is I don't give out candy like Santa Claus. And then channel member Midlife said, isn't Life 360 gold level $99 a year? It probably is. I'm just doing the free one on there. I'm already in a couple of groups with family, and some of the services are not applicable to truck drivers. Like they have roadside service. They have crash detection if you want it. So some people may opt for those higher levels, or they may be already in those higher levels with family. But I'm just doing the base one. I think it'll be plenty for the purposes that we're trying to accomplish. And then Midlife said he came in at the tail end. Uh, this is Russell Freight talking about it was foggy in North Dakota. Yes, it was, and it was muddy, and I I had to scrub the truck to get the dirt off the floor. It was nasty, and the truck is still filthy. I need to get it washed. Maybe I can do that while I'm down in Florida. And then Smaller Hauler said, he's a channel member, by the way, said, evening, Trucker Todd. Finally able to catch a live instead of being part of the replay gang. Glad things are going good for you with the new truck. Yes, sir. And Gary Cook said, we lost two good I think he meant entertainers, being Carl Weathers and Toby Keith. And then channel member Midlife was talking about fuel additives, saying he uses a flashlight to check the tanks every morning. And he carries additive, but only uses it if he fuels somewhere like Texas and drive to somewhere like Wisconsin. That's actually a pretty good idea. Some of it depends how big your tanks are, though, and what kind of fuel economy you're getting, because depending on your situation, you might have to fuel somewhere between Texas and Wisconsin. And if you did, you might already have that additive when you fueled on your way to Wisconsin. But if you're not sure, if the truck stop you're stopped at is using the winter blend, you can always ask them. Sometimes they'll even put a sticker on the pump that'll say that it's winter blend or it does not contain the winter blend, things like that. Also, another thing to remember is winter blend diesel usually gets less fuel economy. And now we're at the part we lost sound, so I'm going to skip the comments about sound. I appreciate everybody letting me know. And I'll get back down here to where we were. Gary Cook says, did you get your turn signal fixed? Yeah, I talked about it in the last video. I actually fixed it myself. I was out in the middle of nowhere on a little 2-lane road when it fell apart, and I found a Freightliner dealer in Nebraska, and I pulled in there and bought the part, overpaid for it big time. I mean, really overpaid for it, about almost 3 times what it's worth, in my opinion. And then I went to put it in. Anybody that's ever done one on a Freightliner knows you need a T30 Torx driver. And guess what was missing out of my toolbox? A T30 Torx driver. So I found a little farm and ranch store, went in there and bought the Torx driver set I needed. Came out and I installed it myself in a Walmart parking lot, and then got back on the road. But it delayed me enough that I wasn't able to do a Thursday night video. So I did a Friday night video, and I talked about it on Friday night. But a lot of people said, that they didn't get a notification for the Friday video. So it's up. If you guys hadn't seen it, you can go back and check it out. It's a short one. I think we went less than an hour that night. So give you something to listen to while you're cruising down the road tonight. Channel member Midlife talking about Live 360. I misheard. I thought you were paying. No, they have some options like crash detection. They've got some that it'll give you like a driving report and things like that. And I don't think we need all that right now. All right, we got something that just came through. Channel member Robbie Ross has just been acknowledged as being a member for 3 months. Well, congratulations and thank you for that. He says, woohoo, membership has its privileges, just like my American Express card. Well, funny you should mention that. Your American Express card could be advantageous to me too. If you'd like me to experience some of the advantages of your American Express card, I bet we can work something out. I'm just teasing you, Robbie. I appreciate you, man. I really do. You're a good friend. Let's see here. Chris says, thank you. So I took your comment off, Chris, but I'm going to go back and hit it. Let me see if I can pull it back up. No, I don't know how I did that or how to fix it. But anyway, Chris asked, and his comment got removed by me. He says, can you tell me about diesel and how to stabilize it, please? Well, I'm assuming you're talking about if it freezes or if it gels. And I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. I think I should point out before we get too far on here that this isn't a maintenance channel per se. This is a news and opinion channel. And so there's people that are far more qualified than me to answer that. But generally speaking, if a tank is gelled, in the past, what they did was they towed it to a shop and set it in somewhere warm and let it thaw out. There is fuel stabilizer and stuff you can add. Now they make stuff that you can pour in the diesel that'll cause a chemical reaction that'll do it. But basically, the diesel system on your truck, when you're idling, is circulating the fuel and warming the fuel. And so, in most situations, until you get to super cold temperatures, it'll work as long as you're idling. Now, you go home for 3 days and you leave it sitting with the engine off, yeah, your diesel can freeze if it gets below 17 degrees. And actually, what it does before it even freezes is it gets kind of cloudy, and it'll stop up your fuel filters and things like that. That's an important thing to mention too. Even if you get towed to a shop and they thaw it out in the shop, a lot of times they still got to replace your fuel filters and things like that. But I just, most of the time I'm in not bad weather climates. I'm watching weather reports, planning my trips, and avoiding bad weather. Of course, you're going to be in some no matter what. This year I got stuck in right west of Denver on I-70. Had to spend the night there, so I'm not immune from being in bad weather situations. But I try to stay where I can be most profitable. Robbie Ross, channel member, says you did. That jersey was used on. Oh, okay. So I have to agree with channel member Robbie Ross. American Express membership does have its advantages. It got me what is currently my favorite shirt in my collection, a Dak Prescott Cowboys jersey. Gary Cook, in the winter, I use Howe in my tanks. I've used Howe in the past, and it's kind of my go-to when I do use something. But I think, as a general rule, and again, I know this is going to show up in clips, and I'm going to get criticized all day tomorrow. I think most people are overusing fuel treatments and over relying on them. I don't think they're necessary as much as everybody uses them. But if my truck starts running rough, or well, let's say that my filters get stopped up and I've got to replace my filters, I might run some through it when I put the new filters on or something like that. But I mean, it's once or twice a year. I'm not doing it regularly. And we got a question for Midlife. Blues Trucker asked, hey, Midlife, have you heard anything from Biggins Trucking? He seems to have dropped off the map. I've never watched him while we're waiting for Midlife to respond, but I can tell you from personal experience, it's really easy to get burnt out on YouTube and just need to step away for a couple of weeks. So that may be all it is. He's taking some personal time and he'll be back in a week or two. And Midlife with the quick response, a channel member, by the way, said I talked to him day before yesterday. So there you go. Wow, channel member Midlife says he's been busy the last couple of years. Wow. I don't get that. I had a guy that used to be a real good friend of mine that I hadn't heard from him in 6 or 7 months, and he called me the other day. I was like, "Hey, I hadn't heard from you in a while. How you been?" "Oh, I've been busy for 7 months." I didn't say nothing. I just let him talk, but I thought, yeah, nobody's busy for 7 months straight. Now, you guys know from calling me, sometimes it may take me a day or two to get back to you, but I'm never so busy that it's going to take me 7 months to get back to you. All right, I'm going to give it a few minutes for y'all to type some comments. I'm going to remove that one so y'all can see the website and my name and everything. If you get a chance, check out the website, truckertodd.net. You can email me at todd@truckertodd.net. Click on the title of this video. It'll drop down some more information about the channel, answer a lot of your questions, things like that. Make sure you're subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up and share it on your social media platforms. That really, really helps out a lot. And so let's see. Mud Truckin says, "Hello, Brother Todd. Good to be here." Yes, sir. Thank you for coming in tonight. Man, that food looks good on your profile pic. Blues Trucker says, "Yeah, it's been a year since his last video. Glad he's doing okay." Channel member Midlife, I may have misstated that. I talk to him all the time. He's been too busy for YouTube. Yeah, people that don't do YouTube don't realize how time consuming it is. It's like having a second job. Gary Cook, I put all new drive tires on my truck. I got 8 Ironman tires. I spent $3,100. Well, there you go. That's not bad. P.U. Patel, do you still have the cop car? No, the cop car is gone. Got rid of it. Got rid of the motorcycle. Mud trucking. Yep, that's a fancy meal. It reminds me of there at Lancaster, Texas, at the Dart Yard. I don't know if the guy still comes there, but there was a little Asian guy that would bring around a plate like that, and he'd have 5 or 6 of them. And he would come in, he'd go, $5, $5. And everybody would tease him. They'd go, $2, $2. He said, no, $5, $5. And they would just mess with him, but it was pretty funny at the time. And he had a good attitude about it, but he'd come in $5 and $1. It was pretty funny. I'd forgot all about that till you said fancy meal, and I looked at that picture again. Channel member Robbie Ross, has anyone used the lawyer services that is offered at many trucking companies? I used a prepaid legal service that was in Oklahoma City when I was at DART. I can't remember the name of it, and I think it was at DART. Anyway, I had one ticket speeding where I was guilty, and they got me off scot-free. They got the ticket totally dismissed, and I was speeding, no excuse. And then I got pulled over in Vian, I guess is how you pronounce it, Oklahoma, for making a U-turn, which I did not make a U-turn. I was innocent on that charge, and they didn't do a darn thing for that ticket. They went to court and pled me guilty. Let me tell you what happened on that, and then I'll get back to your comments. I'm going down the road. There's a Love's there, but it's no trucks, and I didn't realize it till I got off there. and you pull up a little bit and you go through a school zone, and there's a no U-turn sign there. So I didn't make a U-turn. There's a big like car wash and grocery store up there on the left. I pulled in that parking lot and turned around, and the cop pulled me over for an illegal U-turn. And I'm like, how can it be an illegal U-turn? I'm not, I'm on a private, I'm in, I'm on private property. I'm in this grocery store parking lot. And he's like, well, you didn't have permission to make a U-turn in their parking lot. I'm like, how do you know? Did you talk to the store owner? Well, no. So how do you know I didn't have permission? And secondly, that's not how trespassing laws work. They have to specifically say I can't make a U-turn there or I can't enter the property before you can get me for anything like that. But anyway, we never got to fight it out in court because they didn't do nothing on that ticket. So the ticket I was guilty of speeding, they got it dismissed. The ticket where I was totally innocent for turning around in a parking lot, uh, they didn't do a darn thing for me. And I made a YouTube video about it. It's probably still out there somewhere. Oh, about a month ago, traded the motorcycle in and got my wife another car. The pickup started. I had a caliper that was sticking, and I've got a wastegate on one of the turbos that was acting up. And with that being our only vehicle, we were worried that that it was going to lay down on her and she wasn't going to have a way to work and stuff. So I traded the motorcycle in and got her a car. Anthony Fisher, hello, Trucker Todd. Shut down in Indiana for the night after a 300-mile day. I'm not 560 yesterday. Yeah, that stinks. Maybe tomorrow will be better. I'm running my tail off right now. I'm doing between 650 and 700 a day trying to get to Florida. Channel member Robbie Ross, yes, same company, Oklahoma City. So it's funny when they got that speeding ticket dismissed, I was over the moon. I thought, man, these are the greatest guys ever. This was a great investment. And then when they didn't even try on that second one, I was like, man, what a waste of money. So I don't know how I feel about all those deals. But let me know how your ordeal goes when you get some finality to it. All right, we're at the 57-minute mark. If y'all have got something, throw it up and we'll talk about it. If not, I'll get out of here and get back on the road here shortly. Channel member Robbie Ross, it's going to cost me more for the lawyer than the fine. I'm going to see how they do for me. I don't want the points. Yeah, they know that too. They know for most truck drivers, money's not the issue. You just want to keep the points off your license. David Edwards says, howdy, y'all. Or all. Howdy, all. I'm sorry, I turned him into a Texan. Channel member Midlife. I got 6 drops in Dallas area tomorrow, in Joplin now. Man, that makes for a long day. David Edwards, new trucker, and have 1,200 miles in 2 days. That's not bad. You're off to a good start. Gary Cook, what kind of car did you get your wife? She got a Taurus SHO. Channel member Midlife. Then it's on to Laredo. I hadn't been to Laredo in a while. I wouldn't mind going down there, but from what I hear, they like chrome trucks down there, and with as much chrome as on this truck, I'd want to be in and out of there. I wouldn't want to hang around a day or two. And the rates going into Laredo are awful. Sometimes you can get good rates coming out of Laredo, though. Of course, look at me talking. I'm on my way to Florida. I know I'm going to take a bath coming out of Florida. And I took a little bit of a bath going into Florida. I did it a lot cheaper than I wanted to. Channel member Robbie Ross, I'm pulling a Walmart load to Midway, Tennessee. I'm happy I'm out of Chicago. I bet. I don't like going up there. I don't mind going to like Bolingbrook and the towns, south of Chicago, but I don't like going down in the city. Midlife channel member, I get paid by the mile. Yeah, I was referring to like the owner operator side of it. That's why I don't go down there a lot. If I was a company driver and we had a yard there, well, shoot, even when I was at Swift, I didn't mind going to Laredo because they've got a yard down there, and I was getting mileage pay, so I didn't mind going down there. But just when you're doing percentage, it can be tough to go in and out of there. What is the deal with this new law or policies for LLCs having to pay or having to file info or pay $500 fine for every day? I haven't heard anything about it. If you've got a link about it or something, email it to me at todd or truckertodd.net. You would think if they had implemented some kind of policy like this, I would have got something in the mail or an email or something. But $500 a day for a year is a lot of money. That could turn into a deal breaker for most people. Yeah, that's $182,500 a day. I haven't heard nothing about that. You'd think something like that would be big news. Super high output Taurus, good choice. Yeah, that car's a blast to drive, and I ain't even gonna lie. When we were getting it, I tried to trade her my pickup for it. I was like, "Here, why don't you take my pickup and I'll take that car?" She's like, "No, I'm good in the car. I'm good in the car." As long as the ledger is still on the increase, it's all good. Yes, sir. Channel member Midlife, he's talking about the federal BOI. I'll have to look into it after the show. I haven't heard anything about it. Russell Freight, can't believe my DEF pump filter cost $200 for my 2022. I'm assuming that was supposed to be Peterbilt. Man. Well, fortunately on this truck, a bunch of that work was done. And I didn't mention this in the channel member video that everybody else will see on Thursday, but it came with the book of all the maintenance he's done on the truck since 2019. He did a lot of work to it. So the DEF pump and all that's been replaced on this truck. I'm thinking it's going to be good for a while. Ted says, "Hello, Mr. Todd. Sorry I'm late. I just got home from work. Glad to see you." Yes, sir. Glad you could make it in. Asian Ma did something on the table a week or so ago. I'll have to go back and check it out. I usually when he says something noteworthy, somebody will email me a link, and I didn't get any links, but I'll look into it on my own after the show. I haven't heard anything about it. Midlife Trucker channel member, you have until December 31st to file it. So I got a little time on my side. Let's see. 8.5, 29.8 heavy loads all week. Oh, wait, I know what you mean. 8.5 to 9.8 heavy loads all week. Oh, well, you're doing great. I'm getting like 6.5 to 7 all week. But I've been over here in the mountains and I've been running 70 and 75. This truck is capable of a lot better fuel economy, but I've been taking some higher paying loads that require you to run. So it's not normally what I like to do. I like to drive this truck about 65 miles an hour, but here lately I've been having to let it roll. Not illegally, not speeding or nothing, but doing the speed limit for sure. Blues Trucker says it's been on some videos for a few weeks. Government forcing small businesses to file about your business to crack down on criminal using LLC to cover up activities. If you don't, it's $500 a day, up to 10,000. Yeah, but if it's not till December 31st, I got time on my side. I'll get it looked at and find out the details how to do it. But this is the first I've heard about it tonight, and you would think the circles I run in, somebody would have mentioned it before now. Matter of fact, while I'm waiting for y'all to type, I may can get y'all a little information on it right now. Sorry, just by glancing at it quickly, it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal to comply. Looks like I might even be able to file it online. But that was just a 30-second search. I'll do some more research on it later. But thanks for letting me know about that. All right, it's getting pretty quiet in here, so I think I'm going to tear out of here and get back to work. I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. And, well, we got a couple more comments. We'll hang around for a little bit. Mark Ely, channel member, how have the rates been? For me, they've been okay. This load is one of the lowest I've taken in a while. It's about 220 something a mile. And, but it's a long one going to Florida. It was a 2,000-mile trip. So, uh, it's, but I've been getting around $3 a mile, 280 to say 320 a mile. So I just the problem is you get a good settlement and then pre-pass hits you and then this hits you and then that hits you. And so but I'm this is the first week that I've really saw daylight and started to get my head above water again. So I'm pretty optimistic right now. But I may be the unicorn in the deal. A lot of guys are saying they're still struggling. David Edwards says link for Mother Trucker News. No, I'm familiar with Mother Trucker. I've met him before. There's pictures of us on, I believe, on YouTube meeting before. I met him at Matt's last year. I don't watch a ton of his stuff, um, but I'm familiar with him, and he just does so many videos. It may take me an hour to find them, and sometimes it's just quicker to do my own research and get my own information than it is to try to look it up in his large amount of videos. David Edwards, keep the rubber side down. Thank you, sir. Mark Ely, I was watching freight out of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. Looked good. Yeah. Yeah, it You know, it's like any other time. There's good and bad parts of the country, and guys like you and me, we know where to go and where not to go, and when to go there and when not to go there. And that's a lot of it right there, being at the right place at the right time. Blues Trucker for existing LLC like you have till the end of the year. New companies have 30 days, I believe. Yeah, and I'll probably go ahead and knock it out just because I'll forget if I don't. And that way, if I screw something up, I've got time to fix it. I'm not suggesting that anybody wait till December 31st to start doing it because it'd be my luck the website would crash. But you just think that, and that may be why I hadn't heard nothing yet, is because we've still got 11 months till it's the deadline. But you would think they would email me or mail me something to say, hey, you need to do this. But I will take care of it now that I'm aware of it. The link I posted was for that BOI stuff. The link didn't come through. I don't know if YouTube blocked it or if StreamYard blocked it or what. Josh McLean. Hello, Trucker Todd from Georgia. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. W. Jones. Sorry I hadn't seen you lately. Who are you contracted with? I'm still at SRO Logistics. I've been here, shoot, I don't know how long now. Since May, I believe. May or June. Long time anyway. But anyway, if he's owner operator only, you got to have your own truck. If you've got your own truck and you want to know more about the company, his email is going across the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It's safety@srologistics.com. Safety@srologistics.com. I got a great job. I'm happy as I could be. Russell Freight says, I've heard about the new law already filed. Yeah, it's a real thing. I'm sure it is, but it doesn't sound like it's a huge deal. It sounds like I've got to go online and answer a few questions. P.U. Patel, Trucker's Coach, finished off YouTube. Do you know if he's doing okay? I have not talked to him or any of his clan, any of the people that run in his circles in several months. So I don't have any information about them. I hope they're all doing well, but I don't have any firsthand knowledge. I haven't talked to none of them. Russell Freight, I've already made 2,900 in Sunday, not including this whole lot of money. Well, there you go. What's the split where you're at? They've got several pay packages depending on what you want to do. I'm on an 80-20 split. I've got a buddy that's on a 75-25 split. It just depends what you want to do. I'm a big fan of the 80-20 split with this company because of how I run and how I work. But in his 20%, he covers a lot of things that other companies don't. Like there's no transaction fees if you use his fuel card. He doesn't. He gives you 100% of accessorials like layover, detention, extra stop pay. He doesn't keep none of that. After a year, you get a 2% raise. So, like in a few months, I'll go up to 82%, and it'll be a 82-18 split. If you use your own trailer, he pays more too. I don't remember how much. I think it's 2% more on top. But that'd be good questions for him. I'm using his trailer though, and you can get your plates from him or you can get your own. He doesn't charge nothing for the ELD. That's included in that 20% or 25%, whichever plan you go with. It. You ought to give him a call, Mark. I think you'd like him, knowing you like I do. I think you and him had hit it off, and if you do decide to call him, tell him you're a friend of mine, and I'll tell him about you. What brokers do you use, or is it based on broker's credit? That was channel member Mark Ely. He has a website we go to, and we can check the credit of the companies because he is factoring the loads. Um, nine out of I'd say more than that. I'd say 90% of them don't have any problem getting through the credit. Every once in a while, I'll get one that doesn't pass. As far as which brokerages we use pretty much all the click and goes that you could think of. I subscribe to DAT, and I use DAT, and so yeah, it's a pretty laid back environment. He is he is pretty old school though. He wants you to have an LLC. Him and his wife would like to meet you and your significant other before you come to work there. They'll usually fly out to where you live and take you out to dinner. And so it takes a few weeks. It's not like you can. He's not just trying to like fill seats where you apply on Monday and by Wednesday you're working. It takes a few weeks, but it's well worth it. I remember, and I've never shared this. I'm probably about to get myself in trouble. When I went out to dinner with him, my impression was, man, he seems like he's going to be tough to work for. He seems like he might micromanage, and I have not experienced that at all. It he does want you to run legal. He wants you to do things, a certain way, like building a trip and stuff like that, paperwork wise. He wants you to run legal. He doesn't want you lying on your logs or doing things like that. He wants you to pre-trip and post-trip and make sure your equipment's in good condition. And he'll call you a couple of times a week just to shoot the breeze, see how you're doing, if you need anything. But I haven't experienced micromanagement at all. He, it's been so much better than what I thought it was going to be. And like I said, if I got way, way, way off in the weeds, I could probably find two or three things to gripe about, but I'd have to get really, really nitpicky. And so, I mean, to me, it's as close to perfect as you can get in trucking. You're never going to find a company that checks all the boxes, but he comes pretty close. A couple of things that I wish was different. He doesn't allow us to run California or Oregon. And while I don't want to go to either one of those states very often, it'd be nice to be able to go there occasionally. And so that's, if I was going to criticize something, get way off in the weeds, that'd be one thing. But I knew that before I hired on there. So if that was a deal breaker for me, I should have not gone to work there. And it hadn't been. I've still made a real good living without going to California or Oregon. Also doesn't do hazmat and doesn't want you to go to Canada. And I know for some people that's a big deal. That hadn't been a big deal for me. I can't go to Canada anyway. I don't have a passport. I went once many years ago before you had to have a passport, and it was so cold up there I hadn't had a desire to go back. I did tell him the other day though. I say the other day, it was a few weeks ago. I wouldn't mind taking one of those Alaska loads. You'll see loads in Washington State that go to Alaska, and I wish we could go to Canada for that reason because I'd run one of those Alaska loads. They pay insanely well, and it'd be nice to go somewhere I've never been before. But again, that's all minor stuff. The good far outweighs the bad, and so that's what I would say about that. And another thing, while we're talking about Scott, is, and this is something that it should be at every company, but it's not, just the level of honesty. I mean, every single thing he's told me he was going to do, he's done. Anytime I've called him with a concern about payroll, he's got it fixed. He hadn't tried to, screw me out of money or anything like a lot of trucking companies will do. And so there's something to be said for honesty and integrity. I mean, so yeah, I don't want this to turn into a recruiting video, but yeah, I couldn't be happier working there. And I met a guy that I really enjoyed. I went out to dinner with him when I was in Springfield, Snorlord, who's also a YouTuber. And Scott had actually bought the trailer I'm currently pulling from Snorlord. And I had watched Snorlord on YouTube a few times, but never met him. It was nice to meet him. We peeled stickers on trailer together and went out to dinner together. What a nice guy. I hadn't talked to him much since that night, but yeah, it's been really good experience. And I haven't opened a trucker magazine and looked for a job, or got on Craigslist and looked for a job, or nothing since I've been here. I hadn't even thought about going somewhere else. And that's nice too. I told Scott one day, and he kind of laughed at me. I said, I hate when guys ask me, what do I think about this company or that company? Because I said, I feel like I'm cheating on the company when I look at other companies and evaluate them. And he just got a kick out of that. He thought that's pretty funny. Adam says, finally got off work so I can catch the show on my drive home. I'm glad you're on here, Adam. I was getting ready to call you. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Actually, I think it was last night. And I was telling him I hadn't seen Adam in a long time. I hope he's okay. And I said, I bet he's just working a lot. I said, I hope I hadn't made Adam mad or nothing. I need to call Adam and see how he's doing. But I'm glad you're on here and things are going well for you. Hey, and speak of the devil, look who's here, Snorlord, with the thumbs up and the crossed swords. Hello, my friend. How are you? And Snorlord also asks, how's the trailer doing? Man, it's awesome. And it saved me from numerous tickets. That little weight thing you got on the back is awesome. I picked up a load in Seagraves the other day, Seagraves, Texas, that was going to North Dakota. And I eyeballed it, and I thought I had it good. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to use that little gauge thing on the back so, to see. And sure enough, I went across 3 scales. I was good on all the scales using that gauge. So that thing's handy. Haven't had any tire problems, hadn't had any light problems. That trailer's been great. So thank you for selling us a good trailer, man. I got to get to Springfield again too. We had Snorlord and I had talked about doing a collaborative video while I was there. And it took us a little long to peel the stickers, his stickers off the trailer, and put Scott's stickers on the trailer. But I think it'd be fun for us to do a video together one of these days. And if I get to go to Matt's, I don't know if Snorlord goes to Matt's or not, but if I get to go to Matt's, or if I'm in Springfield, it'd be cool to do some type of collaborative video with Snorlord in the future. And also, I found out that another YouTuber is wanting to interview me, and so we may try to set that up in the coming weeks too. If we get that put together, I'll let you guys know, and y'all can see somebody interview me for once and how that goes. Blues Trucker. No California, Oregon, Canada, and no hazmat. Sounds like the perfect place for me. Yeah, it and no treating you like you're a child. You know, there's a lot of companies. I had a driver call me last night, and the company he's at's calling him, and they're just micromanaging the crap out of him on his logbook. And I was like, man, I don't have none of that. I know how to log legal, and I log legal, and I'm sure Scott checks it, but it must be right because I never hear nothing. I never get any violations. And, you know, sometimes I call him for advice, like if I have something I've got a question about the truck, or about the way he does things, I'll call him and ask him. And it's just nice to have a partner, somebody you're working with that you get along with. There's no drama or chaos, and they're not trying to rip you off. You know, we've all worked for companies where you call them and you say, hey, y'all said y'all were going to reimburse me for this, and you hadn't done it yet, and it's been a month and a half. Oh yeah, well, we emailed this department, and this department's got to email this department, and it could take up to 6 weeks for us to get you your money back. It's none of that. I usually the way our conversations go is I go, hey, Scott, I got something I want to run by you. He's like, all right, what is it? And I'll tell him my idea, and he'll go, hey, that sounds like a good idea. Let me talk to my wife, and I'll get back to you. Then usually the next day he calls me and goes, we talked about it, and we don't think we want to do that, or we talked about it, and we're going to do it, but slightly different, or you know what I mean? But I get some feedback. And that's the thing to remember when you're at a company. It's not about always getting your way. Uh, you're not, it's their company, not your company. And so they're going to run it the way they want to, the way they see fit. But it's nice having some input and having your opinion respected. And at the end of the day, even if they disagree with you, at least they listened to what you had to say and gave it some consideration. P.U. Patel, you've been there long enough to be able to recruit with no judgment. Yeah, but let me tell you, the deal about SRO Logistics is it's a small company. I believe there's like 5 or 6 drivers there right now, and I've only met one of them in person. I've emailed a couple of them, and so um, I got to be careful because my name's on the line, my reputation's on the line, and if I recruit somebody, if I refer somebody, I want it to be somebody good because I've had enough conversations with Scott to know what kind of company he's trying to build. If you go to his website, srologistics.com, it's got his motto at the top, and I can't quote it verbatim, but it says, not trying to be the biggest, just the best, or trying to be the best, not the biggest, something like that. And it really is true. He's not, he doesn't have the goal of trying to be a mega carrier, or at least I don't think he does. He has the goal of trying to get the very best drivers he can get. So when I know that's the goal, that's what I want to see too. I want to see guys that come here that they're a good representative of the company that I'm working at, and that they're a good representative of trucking in general. And most of the people that watch this channel are really good. So most of you, I wouldn't have any problem recommending you. Mark Ely, that was here a minute ago, if he called Scott, I wouldn't have any trouble recommending him because I've known Mark for a while, and I know what kind of driver Mark is. I know what kind of knowledge he is. Now, having said that, this is a different beast too. We're running the spot market, and a lot of guys have never done that. So I realize that I may have to help some guys, offer some advice. Scott may have to help some guys and offer advice, and I'm okay with that. But I want to send him people that are high caliber for sure. That's far more important to me than hitting any referral bonus goals. And that's why I don't push it on here any harder than I do. People say, where do you work? Trucker Todd. I say where I work. Do you like it? Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great place to work. Adam, everything has been great, just polishing tanks and wheels. Definitely no professional work, but every truck I do, I'm getting better and better, and buffing and waxing paint. Hey, Adam, if you need a truck to practice on, I could probably get a load passing through Kansas. And channel member and good friend Skyhook Trucker is here from Erie, Pennsylvania. I passed a bunch of your company's trucks today, and I kept wondering, is that John? Is that John? But none of them were internationals. They were all Freightliners. Everything has been great, just polishing. Oh, it did the same thing again. It did your comment twice. That's weird. Elvis says, good evening. Good evening, sir. Channel member Mark Ely, stop it. You made me blush. Thank you for your kind words. Well, here's the deal with I'm going to talk about Mark a little more while we're on it. When he and I first met, it was very debative, let's say. We we didn't we didn't hit it off right away. We debated a lot of stuff. We both thought each other was full of baloney.
He thought that I might be misrepresenting what I was making at the company I was at. I thought he might be misrepresenting what he was making at the company he was at. It turned out we were both telling the truth, and it turned out we were both real good at our jobs. And so after that, we kind of developed a respect for each other. And now I think real highly of Mark, just like I do Midlife Trucker and several others of you in the group, just because you see me and Mark debate something or you see me and Midlife debate something doesn't mean I don't have a lot of respect for him. And so, yeah, guys like Mark and Midlife and several of you others in the chat, I can't name you all, but you know who you are. Uh, I got a lot of respect for you guys, and I know that you're among the best, and you'd do good at any company. So, I mean, if Mark never comes to SRO Logistics, he'll be just fine in life. Now, I think if he comes here, he'll do good, but with the knowledge and the background that he's got, and what I've seen of him, I think he's going to be, like I say about Midlife, he's going to be successful wherever he goes. Now, there's a couple of crap companies out there that he may not be as successful as he wants to be, but he'll still be one of their top dogs there. But I feel bad when I say stuff like that on here because there's no way I could mention all of you that I have respect for, that y'all have had a positive impact on my life. So just know that I appreciate all of you, and I've learned something from almost every one of you. But enough of that. Let's get back to trucking. What else y'all got? We've been going an hour and a half, and that is something I want to ask you guys while I got y'all here for a second. If I do go to Matt's towards the end of March, how many of y'all are planning on showing up there? It may be too soon for most of you to know. Mark says he's going. Skyhook says he's going. That's great. You guys, since y'all came in late, y'all didn't hear the big announcement at the start of the show. I've got a new membership tier where you can track me on Life 360. That may come in real handy at Matt's if you're trying to see me or want to follow me around or something like that one of those days. Kind of see how I do videos and things like that, or want to go to lunch or dinner. So that may be something that interests several of y'all. Check out, hit the join button. Well, y'all already know, you're already members, but go down like you're wanting to become a member again and check out that Life 360 thing. Just email me if you sign up there, and I'll get you the link to join us on Life 360. Gary Cook says I might go. Well, that'd be great. If it's looking like there's going to be a big turnout, which if there is, I'm almost certainly going to have to go. Robbie Ross, channel member, says I'm considering Matt's. I have surgery April 9th. Yeah, so that'd be about a week and a half, 2 weeks before your surgery. You'd have to really coordinate that with your company so they could get you to that and get you home. But if you can do it, man, it'd be great to have you there and hang out with everybody. I'm going to do my best to go. I really am. We'll see. I've got some back end stuff I want to get done. I've got to get some business cards printed, and I'd like to have some hats or something to give away to some of you guys while I'm there. We'll see how that all works out and how much I can get done between now and then. And it depends on how the truck runs between now and then, how my finances are. But I am going to try to go. All right, I'm going to give it a few more seconds and then I'm going to hit the highways. If you want to talk to me after that, you'll have to give me a call or email me. Channel member Mark Ely, have you had a lot of load cancellation lately? I just had the one when I was in Texas. It was supposed to take me to Sweetwater. It sounded like it picked up in Round Mountain or something like that, Texas, or some little city down there by Round Mountain, Texas, going up to Sweetwater. And that one canceled on me. And it actually didn't cancel. The broker said they were there and made me an appointment. And when I got there, nobody was there. So they gave me a TONU and I deadheaded home. But that's the only one I had. Everything else has been pretty good. How about you? Have you had a lot of load cancellations lately? Oh, and Skyhook, if you're still here, uh, our our other guy, have you seen him tonight? I hadn't seen him in here. Is he driving or at home, or do you know what's going on with him? Give Skyhook a minute to. Ah, he's at home. That's why he's not. I think that's right. I think he told me he's staying home till tomorrow. So he'll. I guess he'll probably catch this on the replay. Channel member Robbie Ross with the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And his deal says hype. There you go. I appreciate that. Now that I've started keeping the comments up on a different screen, when y'all put something like hype or something like that, now I see it. Before I never saw it, but that's pretty cool, man. But, yeah, it is dying off pretty quick though. Nobody's talking much. Mark Ely, channel member. Yes, I lost a 3K a week load I was doing because of receiver not paying for company product. It's a sticky situation, that's for sure. Now, I've heard a lot of contract freight drivers, like people that work in for mega carriers and stuff, saying that a lot of their loads are getting canceled or things like that. But I haven't experienced it a lot on the spot market. I've been really fortunate. January wasn't my best month, but it was because I had 3 doctor's appointment and I was hanging around Lubbock a lot. But I mean, it was decent, but it was down several $1,000s from what it usually is. And channel member and my uncle Racing Ray. I'm really late. I'll go back and watch later. I understand, man. Thank you for popping in either way. Let's see. Robbie Ross, I got a question. Maybe you know the answer to this. Um, I wonder why it didn't announce any of the other people that's been members for 3 months. Did you do something special to make it do that, or does it just randomly pick people? Gary Cook, I've been going strong on the USA power only. Yeah, a lot of people like that over at USA. The problem is, and people always have, well, that's a debate me and Mark Ely have had before. Why didn't I go to USA? And it's just that, admittedly, they tell you they don't have a lot of freight west of I 35. And Lubbock, a lot of people don't realize how big Lubbock is. Lubbock's about 350 to 400 miles west of I 35. So most of USA trucks freight would get me to Dallas, and then I'd have to deadhead almost 400 miles to go home. And so they're not a good fit for me, but I know they are a good fit for a lot of people. All right, let's see. Channel member Robbie Ross, I saw it and clicked on it. I saw I can type something. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm still learning these YouTubes, even after all the books I've watched, or I mean, not watch, listen to audiobooks and trying to get educated. There's still so much to learn, and just when you think you know it all, they add something else. But a lot of times I learn from you guys and from other YouTubers, and that's what I say. I've learned something from almost every one of you. But it looks like we need to call this. Well, we got another one. Gary Cook, USA has good freight lanes around Chicago. That's where I live, so it's good for me. Yeah, if you live east of I-35, they've got a lot of options. But if you live out in West Texas, I mean, I'm sure they'd find me something if I wanted to go home every 6 or 8 weeks. But there's no way I could go home with the consistency that I do now. Channel member Robbie Ross, it's the $sign when I make the donation. Yeah, that's for the super chats. I'm talking about when it did this one. Let me see if I can pop it back up. Yeah, that one that's saying you'd been a member for 3 months. I don't know how to get that one to pop up for the other guys because we've got several of y'all that's been a member for 3 months. Ah, that's where it was. Okay. Well, cool. Now I know, but that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Ah, Skyhook Trucker did it, so he figured it out too. Let's put him up there. Channel member Skyhook Trucker has been a member for 3 months. Congratulations and thank you for that, sir. I appreciate it. That is pretty cool. We'll leave it up there for a second and then we'll take it down so y'all can see the website and everything. Okay, I've been saying it for about 10 minutes now, but I really am. I'm fixing to hop off here, get on the road. If you guys need to holler at me, give me a call and I'll try to get to all of y'all tonight. Uh, we do got one more comment because it's relevant that we need to throw in here. Robbie Ross, channel member, should have plugged your tugger, Skyhook. Yeah, any of you that uh, want a really cool thing, I got a bunch of them here. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see if I can turn my laptop. I got a bunch of tuggers back here. Mine is up front. It says Trucker Todd on it. But Skyhook makes these Trucker Todd tuggers that are pretty neat. He can customize them with colors and lettering on them, things like that. They're great for an air horn tugger. He made a special one for my wife that she can hook to her purse. So if you're interested in something like that, get a hold of Skyhook Trucker and he'll get you pricing and details on that. Skyhook, if you want to throw your email up real quick, I'll put it up on screen. We'll leave it up there for a minute so everybody can contact you about that as well. And he sent me pictures of new styles he's coming out with. He's got some really cool stuff coming out. So they look better. I'll tell you a secret too. They look better in person than they do in the pictures. So imagine it looking twice as good as the pictures. So if you're thinking, yeah, that one looks pretty good, you're going to be going, wow, when you see it in person. Mark, channel member, says, later, brother, be safe. Yes, sir. Skyhook, channel member, says, true, Robbie Ross. And new styles coming very soon. Okay. I think I know Skyhook's email. Let me see if I know it. Is it Skyhook Trucker 1765? That's easier than looking it up on my phone. I think that's his email if he can confirm it for me. And then mine's in the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Oops, that's not it. So let me pull that off of there before anybody sees it. Okay. What is it? John, can you put it up the correct one? I got it saved in my phone, so I don't have it memorized. I think I might have to get me a little post-it note with it and have it set up in here where I can refer to it quickly. Well, he may be busy driving or something. Any of y'all that's interested in the Trucker Todd Tuggers, just email me, Todd at truckertodd.net, and I'll forward your email over to John. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. Y'all have a great night. Call me if you need me. We'll see you later. And yeah, he said Skyhook said he put his email up, but it's not showing here. All right, y'all take care. We'll see you. Bye.